Hello, my name is Axel. I'm a professor of corporate finance at the Department of Economics of University of Constance. I joined the faculty in October of 2013. I regularly teach courses in the broad area of finance and more specifically corporate finance. First of all, I teach all my courses and seminars in English because this is nowadays the dominant language, both in academia and in the financial industry. This is also the reason why this interview is done in English. In my courses, students learn about a number of crucial decisions that corporations have to make in order to be successful, generate profits, and benefit society. These decisions include, on the one hand, financial decisions, that is, how to raise the necessary funds, and on the other hand, investment decisions, that is, how to best use these funds. What is particularly important to me? Well, in my opinion, it is important that students understand the huge economic relevance of corporations in modern societies, both in terms of positive aspects and negative ones, and that they see the links between what happens in the real world of corporations and the underlying economic theories that are taught in universities. Students who are interested in finance have plenty of good reasons to study in Constance. First, finance is well embedded and very prominent in the programs offered by the Department of Economics. In fact, both our Bachelor in Economics and our Master in Economics offer a well-balanced specialization called International Financial Economics, which is characterized by a strong link with classical economic disciplines such as microeconomics, macroeconomics, monetary policy, and econometrics. Second, we have a critical mass of finance researchers at University of Constance. 3 chairs just in the core area of finance and 3 others strongly related to it, including econometrics and accounting. Third, many of the courses offered in finance at University of Constance include practical elements such as case studies from the industry, mini cases, or practice-oriented talks by practitioners, often alumni, who participate to lectures as guest speakers. Fourth, as an additional distinctive feature, the University of Constance offers both a bachelor and a master program in mathematical finance, in German Finanzmathematik, which is jointly offered by the Department of Mathematics and the Department of Economics. These programs are analytically very demanding, but offer an outstanding treatment of financial topics. Fifth, and finally, the proximity to Switzerland, in particular Zurich, with its great financial institutions where our graduates enjoy an excellent reputation, is a strong asset for our students. Our graduates have the choice among a wide range of career opportunities. Possible jobs range from academic research in universities, risk management in banks and insurance companies, portfolio management in institutions such as mutual funds, pension funds, or even hedge funds, strategic or financial consulting, jobs dealing with raising capital for companies, either in the corporate finance division of firms or in investment banking, jobs in national and international regulatory agencies such as the EBA, the European Banking Authority, the ESMA, the European Securities and Markets Authority, or even central banks. Recently, the trend toward environmental and social responsibility allows our graduates in finance also to focus on the actual achievement of ethical goals in financial markets. Finally, some of our graduates even decide to become entrepreneurs and found their own company. So you see, the array of possible jobs is very, very rich and wide. In general, knowledge in finance is highly valuable, valued, and rewarded. In fact, traditionally, finance is probably the industry where you get most leverage of having a good education and being smart. Also, in this respect, proximity to Switzerland, where, as mentioned, our graduates enjoy an excellent reputation, is a real value for our university and our students. Okay, so 3 characteristics of my research. First of all, my research, while theoretically founded, is empirical in nature, because today, without supporting data, you are just another guy with yet another opinion. Second, in terms of content, I'm mainly interested in 2 areas: corporate governance and the analysis of corporate securities. Corporate governance is the study of the mechanisms for aligning the interests of top management with those of shareholders. It is particularly interesting to me because corporate governance is about the ongoing and probably never-ending fight for the control over huge economic resources in modern corporations. And ultimately, corporate governance is also about the benefits and the costs that corporations generate for all of us. In a recent project, we have analyzed the effect of the introduction of so-called say-on-pay, which are the mandatory votes of shareholders on top management pay, on the economic value of voting rights. And we have shown that the effect on voting values is not always positive, but can also be negative, which is surprising. So more rights, but lower voting values. In the analysis of corporate securities, I'm particularly interested in so-called hybrid securities, which are securities with embedded options that have characteristics of both stocks and bonds. These instruments are fascinating because of their complexity, the problems that they help solving, and the incentives that they generate for top management and the firms. In a recent project, we have studied the pricing determinants of so-called contingent convertibles issued by banks to reduce systemic risk in financial markets. Third, given the empirical focus of my research and more from a methodological perspective, we put quite some resources in finding ways how to establish and measure truly causal relationships between variables of interest, which is often a really challenging task, but an interesting and a rewarding one. About University of Constance, I like that it is committed to excellence, both in research and teaching. While rather young and small compared to other universities in the national and international arena, it hosts brilliant academics to whom it is possible to connect, my colleagues. Further, while University of Constance allocates resources for both teaching and research competitively, that is based on merit, it is also a cooperative and friendly environment. Therefore, instead of being a high-pressure environment, University of Constance offers both time and space for new ideas, which definitely helps in developing a climate of innovation and creativity. Further, I like our students who from time to time become my research assistants, PhD students, co-researchers, and even co-authors. I have 2 mottos. The first one, we learn both with the brain and with the heart. By this, I mean that teaching and learning are always, at least to some extent, an emotional experience. I seek to follow this motto by trying to stimulate students with practical examples, quizzes, short videos from movies, and mini cases, and by trying to avoid the creation of de-stress, that is bad stress, in opposition to eustress, which is positive, beneficial, or good stress. The second motto is more of a formula or an approach. It is known as N+1. I did not invent this concept. It means that when learning something, we don't learn everything from scratch, but we rather have a pre-existing set of knowledge N. We just add 1 to N. This is how learning works. And the same, in my opinion, applies to research. Typically, when doing research, we stand on the shoulders of giants and try to go one step farther and make a valuable contribution to the academic debate, not 20 steps at the same time. This, in my humble opinion, does not work. Well, students should know that I enjoy teaching and thus interacting with them. In fact, I'm convinced that teaching offers a great leverage for making a difference, probably more than research, although many of my colleagues won't agree. The second thing that students should know is that in soccer I'm a big fan of Inter Milan. Forza Inter e ciao a tutti!